What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Wrong Side of the Tracks. Thank you for joining me. I'm Ryan. I will be your storyteller this evening. For reals, guys, thank you so much for continuing to rock with me so far. This is episode 13. I'm fucking loving it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Hopefully, after this mini episode, you're kind of starting to grasp, one of the many things I'm trying to do with this fucking thing, with this podcast. And that is just like, we talked about in the shamanic revival. I think the new earth, this new way of fucking society, civilization coming, this fucking new energy everybody feels is coming, right? I feel there's going to be a lot of changes. That's a good thing, right? It's going to, be disruptive and chaotic for a minute, but I think it's a good thing. One of the many things I think is going to get just fucked up and totally rearranged, right? We might still have some traditional education style, but yeah, the educational system, schooling the way we fucking know it, right? I think it is going to be dismantled as it already is, in the sense of people are starting to understand, just like, spirituality. You don't need to go to a church to learn about spirituality and become a spiritual person, right? Have a connection to God. You also do not need to go sit in a traditional schoolhouse, a college institution, and get a traditional education that way. That is one way of learning, but just like, we've talked about taking the restrictions off of energy, we're taking the fucking restrictions off of everything. And I think long form podcasts like this, YouTube channels that are similar, are going to start being looked at in the very near future, if they aren't already, by, millions just like me, as literally like little educational fucking packets, right? Like digestible little college courses, or, life skills, life lessons, fucking art lessons, mechanical skills, whatever the fuck you're interested in. You can literally, like, these platforms are now loaded with enough information, enough data, enough learning shit, that if you want to use it that way, you can literally use it to open your mind, right? It doesn't just have to be used for fucking mind numbing fucking TikTok dances and fucking Instagram reels. Don't get me wrong, those are fucking fun. I fucking doom scroll sometimes too, right? I'm not fucking saying anything about that. But the long form podcasts, the YouTube channels, these other platforms that are doing similar things, they are, I think, the way of the future as far as learning goes, right? Like, you do not just need to go pay thousands of dollars or go sit behind a desk or listen to one person. You can get information, excuse me, from all over the fucking place. That's okay. That's the age of information, right? The age of truth. We got to seek it out and we got to find it. So, anyways, didn't mean to get off on that tangent. Just hopefully you're starting to understand that, I think a lot of people can and should be doing this, as far as us learning from each other, right? It doesn't just have to be from like degreed educators. No offense. Those people are awesome. And then when you start to get interested into one of these subjects enough, yes, seek those people out. But all of us need to get started somewhere that isn't fucking level 20, right? And that is one of the things I've talked about that I think I'm really good at. I think I'm really good at taking a lot of information from all over the fucking place and combining it into a digestible, understandable fucking, packet of information that then, if you're curious enough, I give you enough information, enough names, enough, kind of places to get started on looking, that then you could go research these things further. And then it's just like a leapfrog effect, right? It's It's like one of the things I want to talk about today, psychedelics. It's literally, it expands your consciousness, opens you up, right? Opens your mind up. That is one of the things I love to say all the time. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I always talk about opening your mind. It's like a fucking seed, man. I swear it just fucking uh you know, as above so below, right? The fucking earth, if you look at the, like the inside of it, the fucking, I don't know what you would call that. I'm like super baked right now. But you know, like I've talked about before, they've put radioactive like dye in the earth to trace the mycelial network, and this shit spans fucking everywhere, right? I don't think there's anywhere it doesn't span, fucking all around the globe. It's the fucking mycelial network. Literally looks like your brain and a bunch of fucking neurons and fucking everything connected, right? So, just like a seed planted in the ground opens up and unfolds, our minds are the same way, right? Like they can open up and unfold. Just like, oh, I got, I couldn't remember the name in my last episode, but it came to me after, like, of course it always does. But Michael Pollan, right? Again, I didn't read his book, but he talks about it on Joe Rogan. And it's a great analogy as far as our brains, right? Being a snowboard mountain and our thoughts, our ideas, you know, just the programming we have in us, the looping fucking thoughts. They're like the groomed snowboard mountain, just the same fucking trails everybody's been fucking taking, right? Just hammered in trails. When you do psychedelics, it's like a fresh snowfall on the fucking mountain, and now you can take fresh trails all over the fucking mountain. And these are new thoughts, new ideas. This is the growing, this is the seed expanding, right? So yeah, education, I think, can be right a piece of the same thing. Just like one of my favorites, Terrence McKenna, talks about, you know, technology and psychedelics literally getting to the point where they were indistinguishable. This is the fucking thing right here. Learning from everyone around us and understanding that that can actually benefit our life, right? Like it opens our minds up in ways we can't understand. It's like super hard to explain, right? I don't want to get too lost on it, too hippy dippy, because I am fucking baked right now. But yeah, there is something to be said about noticing the patterns and the cycles, the observations, just human behavior in everyone around us, and then just applying that on a large scale. Um, and then you kind of start to, you know, understand things that, hey, if we were all learning and doing better things, if we were all being better people, right? From the inside, better people to ourselves. So we're radiating better people out. And now people are learning from us. Well, now this is going to spread like a positive fucking vibration, right? Like a fucking ripple, like a water ripple ripples out. That's what we're talking about here. Learning from each other, educating each other in that way is very similar to psychedelics in opening your mind, right? We're going to dive into a little bit of that here, but yeah, I just wanted to just talk about that. And yeah, thank you all for fucking rocking with me so far. You guys are fucking super cool, and I'm really enjoying this. And if you're enjoying my crazy ass, fucking more power to you. If not, I love you too. All right, let's see. I had a couple things I wanted to kind of talk about here. Oh yeah, I already did that. The, you know, teaching and learning and everything like that. So, yep. Um, but yeah, uh, you guys are probably going to hear me reference this shamanic revival thing a lot because it is. I was going to call this podcast the shamanic revival because that reason, the teaching and the learning from each other thing, and you know, kind of being part of my medicine as far as being an energy healer, and you know what I love to do and how I see myself in the grand scheme of things, right? um I love the idea of the shamanic revival and New Earth and the way society is going to operate. That being said, I chose the wrong side of the tracks because I think it appeals more to my tribe, my vibration of people, the people that have been, fucking looked at as the outcast, crazy, fucking weird, um, whatever you want to call it, right? The black sheep, their fucking whole life, and the ones that have overcome that stigma, that fucking stereotype, and you know, transmuted that fucking pain into passion, into the fucking thing you love to do, right? Um, so yeah, like the wrong side of the tracks. It's to me, it is more fucking colorful. It's more imaginative. It's more creative. It's more fucking free, rebellious. Let you be yourself and harm no one in the fucking making. Right? Very fucking cool place to want to be in my mind. The right side of the tracks, as far as I'm concerned, is very black and white, cut and dry, as the old song would say, little boxes made of ticky tacky, little boxes on the hillside, right? It's just, it's, it's suffocating. It's like a fucking tight suit, right? I'm going back with the fucking weirdos on the wrong side of the tracks, and I hope you guys are fucking along for the ride. All right. That said, let's kick this shit off with a little bit of poetry. You guys know I like poetry. Um, because of many things. Not only is it fun, it's a creative outlet. Literally, I guess now it's like kind of typed in. Some I write, some I type. It's all over the place, but um, it's literally just a way to fucking dump the creativeness like out, right? If we sometimes like people don't realize a lot of that anxiety or just like pent up, what some people call like restless leg syndrome and shit, that sometimes is coming from like not exerting something, and it doesn't always have to be a physical energy. Sometimes it is. Sometimes you just got to get up and move, right? That like moving is healthy too. But sometimes it's a creative energy. Sometimes you have a thought or an idea or a feeling, a thing you've wanted to do for a while, and for whatever reason you've been fucking holding back. Um, like Rick Rubin says, you gotta fucking push, you gotta go into those, you gotta lean into that resistance, right? So that's what poetry is for me. And so, again, if you guys enjoy how this is going and these little learning things, maybe you'll fucking learn to love poetry, or maybe you're more of a visual person and you want to paint or draw the shit or the images that I say, and it grows from there, right? Or maybe you talk about it in your circle and then it slowly fucking grows, and then you learn to love fucking Aristotle and fucking, Shakespeare, all the greats, right? So yeah, without further ado, let's get going. So I call this one Follow Me. Misery doesn't just love company, it revels in that shit. In fact, the only thing she loves more is the taste of broken hearts as she devours it. Be yourself and you'll be just fine, they say. But don't speak your mind. Save that for another day. Unfortunately for you, that day is today. I cannot sit back, bite my tongue, and pray. You have to be the change you wish to see on the earth. Transcend the hatred and judgment we've had programmed since birth. Such a human transgression to blame evil and your enemies for all your aggression. I say, that's just life, and those are called lessons. But if that's the case, who we giving credit to for all the blessings? Now it's a slippery slope from heaven to hell. Grab your pride and your morality and try not to bail. Understand it's our words and our intentions casting the spell. There's power and energy in everything that we say. So let unconditional love shape the future today. Yeah, right, you fucking hippie. No daydreaming around here. Your opinion is only valid if you're transgender or queer. Division, 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 as far as we can see. My God is better than yours, and his is better than she. I can't help but to wonder if that's not all part of the game. Rich people invented God to sell poor people his name. How ironic to see the tables have turned. To see that we are the creators and destruction was learned. We are the reason for beauty and wonder, while also the authors of pillage and plunder. So speak not, cloaked demon or angel in distress. It's time we recognize our truth and clean up our mess. The good, the bad, Satan, and Christ, they all dwell within. The key is staying balanced, never letting just one side win. All right, thank you for joining me for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. That's a good one there, and I think kind of a good segue into today's episode. We're gonna talk about all sorts of shit like we do, and yeah, but mainly gonna probably talk about psychedelics a lot today because I've hinted at them a lot, and I haven't really, dove into dove into them, what exactly I think of them, fucking the whole 9 yards, right? Experiences. And yeah, that'll probably be over many episodes because I'm not gonna lie, I've done so many explorations at this point that it is hard to pinpoint like specific trips, right? I have a few instances that were just so like fucking powerful, however, whatever you want to call it, transcendent, that they kind of, yeah, definitely stick out. We'll talk about those. But then I just have like a bunch of, what I would call very fucking repeatable um, destinations, stops along the way that I think not only can everybody get to, I think a lot of people have been getting to these places and just not talking about them, right? I'm a big fan of McKenna in this aspect of I am I'm way more into the weird and the bizarre aspect of psychedelics rather than the healing kind of like introspective uh mental benefits. Definitely those are awesome and I am a fucking fan of those. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to discredit those at all. Not at all. They're amazing and like those need to be talked about. That being said, me personally, I am way more interested in the fucking weird and the bizarre and the just what the fuck is going on in this experience, right? So that's how I've always, once I started learning my purpose and what I was going to do with these things, that's how I started tackling it. But don't get me wrong, I definitely had my share of introspection and fucking whatever you want to call it, child trauma healing and fucking oh yeah, it's definitely good for that and it can shatter some shit. So, we'll talk about all that as we can. Let's see. I made a few notes just to kind of keep me halfway like on track, but maybe that won't fucking matter. Like I said, guys, one of the things I really want to hammer on, and the psychedelics, if you ever have done psychedelics or you're interested in psychedelics, one of the things they do is, I personally think, anyways, is it's like, well, just like the snowfall thing, just like Joe Rogan has said, it's like a computer top, a desktop, right? You have all your old bullshit, and then when you do psychedelics, it like puts all that in a folder, and you have a brand new desktop, and you can choose to like go back to your old shit or see the world in this whole fucking new way, right? Um, and if you choose to do that, then it's like a fucking opening process. Like the seed has been cracked, whatever they call it in the Matrix. I'm not sure which one is the good one to wake up, but it's like fucking taking the blue pill. Maybe I think maybe the red pill. Yeah, you go back to normal. Blue pill. Fuck, I don't know. Right, but it like wakes you up. It doesn't just instantly fucking boop. Oh, you fucking gain all knowledge and fucking you're just a walking fucking uh speck of glitter at that point. No, by all means, but it fucking the way it allows you to see shit now, it's like now everything that you thought you knew, you now have the opportunity to look at through like child eyes, as though it was the first time you're seeing it, and you can learn and understand this thing, whatever it is, on an entirely different level, right? You still have to go and find the things and learn and understand them, but it does that to your mind. It takes the limiter off, the governor off. So then as you start diving into anything, like literally if you're a fucking food nut and then you do it and then you start diving into food, you're going to look at food entirely different. It's like it allows you to see the world through childlike eyes, like I said, in the meaning of you now have the ability with the maturity of an adult to look at everything you thought you knew, literally everything, from an entirely like fresh perspective, and like it's fucking fun. It breathes fucking life and creativity and imagination back in back into you, right? Amongst the many other fucking things it can do, that is one thing that just nobody can die. Life beats us down, right? No matter what path you fucking take, stresses, work, fucking addictions, substances, putting our energy too many places it doesn't fucking belong and not realizing how important our energy is, and we just become fucking too heavy, too literally fucking stressed out, too just blah, black and white, right? Life has beat us down, and this shit literally just like fucking sham wows you and sets you back up, right? And then you can literally go look at any number of researchers and get into the specifics of what they can do, from like which psychedelic is best for which addiction cure, which psychedelic hammers, you know, mental illness is the best, and down the chain and so on. And then after, you've gone down all of those routes, you get to this place where, you know, I find myself, Terrence McKenna found himself, and I think many others have found themselves. But there just hasn't been enough people talking about this, right? That all of that shit is awesome and amazing, but then there is something fucking uniquely bizarre to these fucking things. And particularly the tryptamines, right? So I haven't experienced all psychedelics. We'll get into which ones I have experienced. Um, but DMT and mushrooms, psilocybin mushrooms, are my most experienced ones. And to me, they're fucking hand in hand the same, right? Like even McKenna would kind of talk about uh, mushrooms could get you to the same place. I literally, I mean, no offense, and maybe I just haven't had the fucking best DMT, but it's pretty. The DMT I've had is pretty fucking good. Let's say that. Like I had a great experience multiple times off of it, and mushrooms to me, I think are better because I found the way for me, right? I'm not like some fucking guru that's gonna teach anybody else how to get to this place, but I'm just saying it's entirely possible to take psilocybin mushrooms to exactly where DMT can take you every single time, but then you can just like stay in it prolonged, right? And this is kind of what I hear ayahuasca is like, but again, I've never done ayahuasca. I've never done peyote, right? I've done LSD, I've done psilocybin mushrooms. I've done DMT. I've done, MDMA, if you consider that. Like, I don't really, it's not very psychedelic, but it's very introspective. Um, what else? Think that might be it as far. Oh, salvia. I've done salvia. And then yeah, I mean, technically marijuana. I mean, marijuana, like very low level, but with the right, and it takes a lot for me eating it. Like, no joke, not even trying to be cool. I have a fucking weird metabolism. I don't even buy treats from the dispensaries because I would spend too much money. I need about like 400 to 500 milligrams to start freaking feeling in the realm of what other people feel on like fucking 50 and under. It's crazy. I don't know what it is, but my metabolism just fucking does not. I can have a good experience. It just takes a lot. It takes a lot. Let's say that. Smoking it is definitely a way better route for me. But that being said, eating enough of it, you can get to some pretty fucking cool places. So, yeah. Um, that's what today's episode is going to mainly be focused on. And I think it goes kind of hand in hand with what I'm trying to put together here as far as the shamanic revival and, this whole seed metaphor, planting seeds of authenticity, right? Like that's what I think a lot of these plant medicines do is they plant seeds of authenticity, meaning they strip away the layers of bullshit, the layers of fucking programming that have been built up and put around you and made you to think the world and things were one way when they operate an entirely different way, right? And these things are kind of like the fucking the vaccine to that, if that makes sense, right? Like it's funny because everybody is like so scared of some of these things, but just like a dote or an antidote, a venom, you get bit by a snake, the antidote is usually, or if not always, in the poison itself, the venom, right? You extract the fucking antidote out of it. So, um, yeah, that's kind of how I see a lot of these plant medicines in their own right? They have this ability to kind of just like combat the bullshit that comes your way. You just kind of look at it and see it in an entirely different light, right? I don't know how else to explain that to make sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, but yeah, in these long form pocket, it kind of gets to the point I want to make that Alan Watts would kind of talk about. Well, I think a lot of Eastern teachings kind of know about this or hint at this as far as like a teacher or a guru, right? I don't really like those terms at all because uh yeah, I don't know, they can be overplayed or kind of used to boost somebody's fucking ego through the moon. That being said, there is something to be said about a teacher or a guru coming along at just the right time. And to me personally, the best teacher or guru is the teacher or guru that literally the only thing they teach you is that you don't need them. You knew everything the whole time. Like that eventually, when you are done with your session of this teacher or guru, whatever it is, however many lessons or, metaphors or just life lessons you hear him talk about, at some point it's gonna dawn on you like, oh fuck, I don't need this guy at all. I never did. Nobody knows, right? Like nobody knows. The universe is mental. It is what we make it, right? It's all of these things. These are all fucking true for a reason. And yeah, rather than some like gatekeeper, you have to come through me because I have knowledge that you fucking don't know. No, I don't, if that's your thing, that's your thing, right? I'm not trying to judge anybody, but that's not my thing. My thing is, uh, I think personally, learning from people, like real life everyday people, is fucking awesome and fun. I enjoy it. So maybe there's others out there who also enjoy it, that then we can like kind of all get the basic education, facts, knowledges, bits of history and everything. We can kind of all get the general idea, for free without having to pay for that shit like some people are trying to sell. Some people are trying to sell this very basic know yourself information. And I just don't necessarily agree with that, right? I'm not saying there is not a place for selling the information and shit that you have, but I think it should be more to a specific, right, like crowd, as far as like once somebody really gets into astrology, okay, then they go find the astrology guys, and like they see who's been putting their life, force energy into this shit forever, and throw their dollars that way. Or if they really get into the tarot side of it, or the human design side of it, or the sound, vibration, energy fucking side of it. If you get into art, history, whatever it is, right? Then you go search out these people that know fucking more than um they know more collected knowledge than you can get like just grabbing all over the place, right? They can give you a deep dive into some of the shit I'm talking about, their way, in a fucking, a package that then you give them your money. Those are what I think those are fucking there for. I'm totally down for that shit, right? And again, I'm not saying, I'm not judging anybody. Do your fucking thing. Oh, let's get some smell good going here. Everybody do their thing, boo, right? I'm not judging fucking anybody. Just my personal belief is I think we should all, if we choose to, anyways, should be able to gather some fucking sense of this, some heads or tails of all this fucking spirituality, fucking new age, um, energy kind of talk, new earth talk. Is there somewhere you can kind of get a real life person who uses some of this shit, has experienced some of this shit, and is willing to share their stories and shit with you to see if it sparks your curiosity, opens your mind, your imagination, and say, hey, I want to fucking learn more about that. He made that sound really interesting. Oh, that, yeah, when you shed light on it like that, doesn't look evil at all. It's actually kind of really fucking silly, right? That's, you know, that is kind of how I see my purpose, right? So, again, not trying to say I'm some fucking teacher or guru, right? But if you get anything from me at all, it's that I literally can't teach you anything. It is that I'm trying to hopefully teach you. You already know. I know it's fucking hard to imagine, and that sounds like some hippie shit, but it is fucking in there. It's in there somewhere. It just has to be fucking chipped away, dusted off, fucking something will break through to it, right? If you allow it to. Meditation, breath work, psychedelics, um, energy work. These things can start to chip away at the calcification, the fucking just the meh emoji that society has tried to turn us into. There are ways of fucking combating that. That's all I'm trying to say. So hopefully you kind of get that out of this and you help share and spread these fucking things, right? Because I think a lot of people could benefit in this time when a lot of people are going to try and capitalize on this shit, right? Like, I see so many things trying to like imitate psychedelic mushrooms and this and that, legal mushrooms and candy bars and this and that. And it's like, again, do your thing, but quit lying to the fucking people, because they're not the same. I promise you. Like, any of those bars that you think you're buying online that are legal mushrooms, it's not a fucking psychedelic trip. I mean, I guess I haven't tried them, so I can't say that it's not, whatever it's doing isn't psychedelic in the mind and fucking, euphoric or whatever. I can't say that, but I can promise you It's not like eating 5 dry grams of psilocybin. That's fucking a fact. There's nothing in the world. I haven't. Okay, maybe DMT can compare to 5 dry grams, but even the most DMT trip I've had doesn't compare to fucking 9 grams of dried mushrooms. And yeah, that's a, you know, that's what I'm trying to get at. That there's a, oh man, I always forget to turn off that alarm. There's going to be a lot of fucking snake oil salesmen, a lot of fucking charlatans trying to sell you a great mind opening experience, and they don't know. They just don't know what they're talking about, right? If they want to advertise it for what it is, hey, this is fucking this and this, but it is not that, then I'm all for it, right? You're being honest with the fucking people. But yeah, there's no legal fucking mushroom bar on fucking Facebook ads that's gonna do to you what 5 dry grams of psilocybin would do. Period. End of story. And I hope there's a lot of people out there that start to get inspired like me and just tell your stories, whatever it is, right? Your, like I've tried pointing out before, your experiences with tarot, your experiences with energy work, your experiences with plant medicines like across the board, your experiences with you know, anything in your real life, rather than fucking like what you read or what you hear, or you know what I'm saying, like the way moving forward, the age of truth, the age of information is combining just that, hearing and learning from people who have experienced the shit and who are trying to bring that back into the collective society and say, hey, it's not what we've been told, or it is what we've been told, but by these people, not these people, right? So yeah, man, this thing just seems to freaking set it over there. I guess I don't need it in the picture, but it keeps tracking me the last couple times. Um, so yeah, guys. So in kind of tying this new age learning thing in with psychedelics, right? I think once we start seeing that learning is, it's a lot bigger thing, right, than we give it credit for. It's not just going to sit and hear from one person in a classroom, learning like this from everybody and understanding that as like an expansive technology that is very similar to psychedelics, right? And once we start to view learning like this, we start to view our brains as this fucking, you know, more than just this biological fucking pink matter, that like, whoa, maybe this thing is the fucking most advanced fucking piece of technology the universe has ever created, as far as like the best fucking receiver to fucking connect consciousness to. I don't know how else to say it, right? Like the fucking brain is a fucking, it is the thing we are trying to mimic, like I've talked about before, with artificial intelligence and all of that shit, right? The brain at its fucking highest operating capacity is insane, right? Like go check out the declassified CIA documents where they're literally the hemisync, right? Frequencies and shit that can literally just pull you out of your body. Take any regular old person and give you an astral projection, an out of body experience based on frequencies, right? This shit will start to like open your mind. Like I will admit that astral projection is the craziest experience I've had, like next to psychedelics. It's like right there. And like I think the reason, I don't know, even the reason I might even edge it a little bit is because you're stone cold sober, right? Or maybe not everybody is, but when the few times I'm able to achieve it, because I can't do it every time, right? Like when we talk about that in the future, I'll talk about like what I do and how I do it, right? But I still can't do it every time. But when I can do it, it is like as mind fucking blowing as psychedelics. Is like, what is going on here? You can't fucking explain it. It's, the words literally just fall short. So anyways, when you start to like learn and understand this shit, you see the brain as a totally different fucking thing. You see it as basically like a piece of hardware that allows us to like download, upload. You know, this is what I think um scientists talking about like quantum mechanics and quantum sciences and shit and multi dimensions. I think it's all like achieved through the brain, right? I don't trying to think of how to say this. I don't necessarily well, I don't know fucking everything obviously about it. So, I don't necessarily know if you ever even have to actually physically leave or if it's all just like fucking mental, like a mental shift, a fucking a data stream shift, right? Like a the shift of perception literally just unfolds an entirely new reality that's literally sitting right here. You don't have to go anywhere. So it's not like, you know, you fucking literally have to open up a portal and go anywhere. No, it's like it just literally fucking appears, right? Like, and it isn't always necessarily some crazy new alien bizarre fucking place, right? It's literally a perception shift enough that you can fucking tell it's a whole new reality. That if you were in this moment to go out and explore all of the fucking things that you thought you knew, they would look entirely different and you would now have a new fucking understanding. Like, you would be in an entirely new dimension, right? Your fucking reality would shift. So, yeah, I don't know, you know, why I got off on that tangent, but um that I'm trying to not like read through all of my fucking notes here to keep you guys not bored out of your mind. But yeah, this is how I believe psychedelics should be viewed, as tools that we're not only searching for, but the exact tools that we need in this moment of time, right? Like, to be used, just like I said, the brain is fucking the hardware. Now we have the software, right? The fucking the software programs or uploadable firmware updates that improve the overall function of the hardware. Like, they know this. They know that fucking psychedelics like improve neuroplasticity and fucking create new neural pathways and fucking like all the crazy actual brain healing it does. Like, just go check out like psychedelics and Alzheimer's dementia research. It's fucking mind blowing, right? Like, reversing the fucking effects of this shit. So, um, personally, I think we're actually in like the third wave of this shit. Timothy Leary and the other psychedelic revolutionaries, right, were onto this shit in the 60s, and then it kind of fucking died out. And then it kind of made a little bit resurgence in the 90s with McKenna and all those like-minded folks, and then it got stamped out. And now in the 2020s, I think it's trying to reemerge. Um, and I think it's our time to, like, you know, blend that old archaic shamanic way of thinking with our new modern technological way of thinking, and that's what I call the shamanic revival, right? Had the whole episode on it. Now you kind of see how I'm like tying all this shit into society just operating in an entirely different way in the new earth, right? As far as like learning from each other, which then creates a more local and strong, you know, community, which then expands outward and creates a fucking strong, you know, country, which then expands out and creates a fucking strong globe, right? It's like humanity fucking working together, and it doesn't have to be some fucking communist fucking, oh, fucking peace, love, and fucking da 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 da. Like, no. Like, it doesn't have to be any of that shit, right? You can disagree with people. You can feel your range of emotions, right? Just because, like, world peace and like getting rid of anger or hate, those two don't have to go hand in hand. Like you can have world peace and still fucking experience hatred, anger, distaste for somebody, right? It just doesn't have to culminate into fucking physical harm or force or trying to impose control on another conscious agent. That is where we can fucking draw the line, right? You can still um get your emotions out into a creative way, right? Sometimes the best poetry, the best music comes out of anger, grief, sadness, fucking pain, right? So it's not about stamping these emotions out, right? It's about stamping the erratical behavior that is attached to the emotions. That's the human shit that we don't need to do, right? The emotions themselves are not the fucking problem. We need to see that. It's a balance. We always go one way or the other. Oh, if we can't control anger, if we can't fucking, wrap it in, we got to get rid of it. Otherwise, we'll never have world peace. No. You can fucking be angry sometimes and you just don't have to take it out on another person. You put it into music, poetry, song, paint, fucking a video, whatever it is, right? I don't know. To me, it seems very simple, but that's that's the way I kind of see it, right? So leaning that route, like psychedelics, these things can be literally used as a hyperdimensional like learning device. Like the best analogy I have to fucking akin it to is if you've ever played VR, like an Oculus or some shit like that, and you're wearing this thing and you can see your fucking house, your room, and everything right there. But then when you get into the game, it augments a reality that you know isn't there, but it looks super fucking real. What the hell? Like you even bump into your walls, right? Because you're like thinking this is real. It's like this hyper dimensional fucking space right in your living room that how the hell did that exist, right? And it's just right there. That is what psychedelics are very much like to me, as far as when you get to this certain point, you can get past all the other shit, which don't get me wrong. All the other shit, like I said, is fun, and I I encourage everybody to explore all pathways with it. But when you finally get bored of all that, because I promise, even the person with the worst childhood will eventually shed all the fucking child trauma and those emotions, right? And if you choose to quit using psychedelics then because you've no longer interested in them, very cool, and move on, right? But if you're one of the ones that through those things you were also kind of interested in the fucking weird and the bizarre shit that was attached to some of that shit, well then if you push that further and you keep exploring with these, you get to that space. You get to that hyperdimensional space that literally it blows your fucking mind. Where literally you can pull it down like a virtual reality headset fucking behind your eyelids. It's so hard to explain unless you get been there, right? Like again, I kind of talked about it in the last episode, but I'll explain it a little bit more here. That place that I'm talking about, I think it's like right the place that for me anyways, it's the way I perceive it. Again, this is why I think sharing our stories will help us all open up into our own truths. We can all have different truths simultaneously. Like that's okay, right? Like an experience, visual, and abstraction could mean something completely different to me than it means to you, but it still helps both of us benefit our lives in a positive way. You see that? That's a truth that can be shared in a sense, but is also entirely different and mutually beneficial. That is that's kind of how I see this shit. So yeah, what some people call the Akashic records, or some people call like, collective consciousness. I think you can like literally get to this fucking place on psychedelics, right? And again, I'm going to be particularly talking about mushrooms when I talk about them. I'll point out like specific experiences if it's like something else. So if I don't do that, just assume it's mushrooms because yeah, that is like my I don't know if you can have an area of expertise with these fucking things, but um if if you could have an area of expertise, that would be fucking my area. But, like like those who know fucking mushrooms, you're no expert. Even McKenna couldn't fucking put his finger on these things after a lifetime of doing them. And I can tell you, the first time I tried them was 16, and now I'm 36. So obviously I didn't do them. So after I did them at 16, then I did them kind of a bunch, 18 to 19, and then I didn't touch them again all the way until I was 32. Trying to remember, 32 ish, 31 ish, 32, right around there. So had a long stint without him, right? But then from 32 till now, literally fucking countless explorations. So one of the fucking myths I just want to blow right off the bat is, um, again, not saying I'm the fucking sharpest tool in the shed, but the stereotype or what we've been told about mushrooms our whole life is if you do them once, you're probably, you're playing with fucking fire. But guaranteed, if you do them as many times as I have done them, you're fucking you fucking Tommy Chong, bro. Like you don't even fucking do anything but play video games and just like move around like this, It's a fucking joke. It's a joke and it's clowning on what these things can actually be used for. That's what it's actually doing. Because I find it odd that if they're so fucking bad for your brain, why are some of the most brilliant fucking minds, not only in our living age today, throughout fucking history, using these substances? I'm just gonna leave that one to you, and you can go look up any one of the fucking brilliant minds. From obviously Steve Jobs has talked about fucking using psychedelics was more important. I think LSD in particular was more important than any college class he took. The scientist who discovered the fucking shape of the double helix fucking DNA molecule or structure, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure it was on psychedelics. We could just go fucking on and on, right? Like living today, you got fucking, like I've already talked about, Michael Pollan, fucking Carl Hart, Rick Doblin, fucking Joe Rogan, dude, the fucking list goes on and on. I'm sorry if I fucking didn't list you in the list of above, but so many brilliant fucking minds using these things, right? And not to mention the ones that I already have mentioned millions of times, from fucking Alan Watts, Terrence McKenna, Timothy Leary, Ram Dass, fucking, yeah, you name it. The most brilliant minds are using it. Why is that, right? If they make you so stupid and dumb and fry your brain, why are the most brilliant minds in the world using it? So I just leave that question to you, right? Let's see if I had anything else on that before I talk about any like experiences. Right. Do do do. Hmm. But yeah, I guess a couple things that I kind of wanted to note down here. So, like, while I do agree, that each like psychedelic used in a specific fashion in order like to achieve a set intention or purpose. Like they all have their own right like specific time and place. I do think that I also suggest that like one of the most important things like to be achieved through any of them is ultimately like creating better people, better human beings out of us. And I'm not talking about like fucking, better looking, more charismatic, more fucking persuasive. Like, no, none of that shit. Just like better people, just better moral, integral people. Like, oh, fucking um right, I guess just kind of see the true nature of what humans actually have been doing, that we've actually been really like fucking up this earth and hurting a lot of other people for a really long time. But to wake up to that reality and realize, okay, that's where we are, and we can either continue business as usual, or like the psychedelic, we can start operating in an entirely different way and move forward in that direction, right? So and I think that will in turn that will literally just make more like loving, empathetic, fucking unconditionally fucking moral and integral fucking people, right? Will come out of that. Um and yeah, so this is kind of freaking something I jotted down here cuz I do, again, if you, since we're talking psychedelics, fucking let's get weird, right? Fucking psychedelics. That's the thing I fucking love about them, and that's why I love the mushroom. So one of the reasons I feel compelled to speak for the mushroom is the fact that there are a ton of test subjects, millions of qualified candidates, in fact. But because the experience is so abstract and bizarre, some or most can't even find the words to begin explaining what they're talking about, because the words just don't exist. And then the rest of the people just don't even attempt to fucking explain their experience, like for the fear of being ridiculed or looked at like a lunatic. Um, so therefore, me personally, like I've accepted the call to arms, like as an advocate for the mushrooms. Um, but just be warned that even for me, sometimes like the language fails and I just don't have the words to describe the experience, right? They're like a slippery bar of soap, man. Fucking just when you think you fucking have it figured out, they'll throw you a curveball. That's the one of the coolest things about psychedelics that I guess is so hard like to fucking put your finger on. And again, specifically the mushrooms. Um I'm a very big believer in the idea that for some reason mushrooms are like, when you first start taking them, they are like they're very friendly to you. Like, yeah, you might have fucking a bizarro or wacko or whatever, a bad fucking trip visual or whatever, for a second, but overall they fucking treat you pretty good. And then the more you fucking try and catch this fucking little slippery rascal, the more you try and fucking figure out what the hell is actually going on with this thing, um, the more it just kicks your ass, right? Like the veterans, the old timers with it, like they are a lot more fucking trepidous about it than, a new beginner sprightly young sprout, right? Like here's the thing, like I know what I know, and I love them, and even I still haven't done them for months. Probably don't plan on doing them for fucking months again, right? Like when I get into these moods, these exploration fucking moods, wanting to learn moods, I'll kind of fucking binge on them for like a 1 month period. Not like every day, but you can't do that with fucking mushrooms. But I'll like binge on them as far as like every few days, twice a week for like a month. So I'll do like fucking 8 trips in like a month, but then I don't know when I'll do them again. Sometimes it won't be fucking 6, 8, 10 months, right? Because it's just you're trying to unpack that shit for that long, and even still, like you never get done unpacking it. Sometimes they're so wild, man. Like I didn't realize how weird this episode would be trying to talk about psychedelics because it's like I don't even know where to get started. This is one topic that I really want to have multiple guests on. If anybody is interested in coming to sit and share experiences and everything, I would fucking love to share this space with you. Right, because like this whole teaching thing, like these planting seeds of authenticity, that is one thing I truly believe is that sometimes all it takes to be our authentic self is a safe space where we don't feel fucking judged, where we do not feel like somebody is picking us apart, analyzing us, like we have to put on this fucking facade, this mask, this fucking shell of who people think we are, right? Sometimes just having the space with a goofy, crazy motherfucker like myself is all people need to like let their fucking true color shine. Be like, damn, if this guy can fucking do it, I can do it. He's a fucking dork. Like, he doesn't got anything going for him and he just fucking, lets it out there, right? Sometimes that safe space is all somebody else needs to just open up and be their authentic self. And then when their authentic self comes out, you'll fucking see how one not only amazing is that person and now it's like radiating energy, um but just how much that person in particular will just notice how much just happier and fucking everything they feel. It's like the opposite feeling of, when you're fucking I'll say young and drunk, but maybe some people, so I don't drink, I don't care for alcohol. Again, to each their own. Obviously, I smoke weed, so no judgment. Just me personally, not good with my energy. But that feeling that you get fucking when when you're younger and you drank and you got blackout drunk and you fucking wake up the next morning and you have that fucking weird feeling like, it's like this weird anxiety that you don't know what you said, did. You feel like you might have looked like a fucking idiot, probably because you did. Did you do some dumb shit? All of that feeling, right? When you can open up and be your authentic self, it gives you like the opposite feeling of that. It gives you this feeling of like, oh, that was supposed to happen. Whatever the fuck was said right there was meant to come out because I fucking feel so much better. I don't even know what it was, but just finally being myself and not talking about the societal talking points. Hey, how was work? What's the weather like? You see the game this weekend? All right, catch you later. Like getting outside that environment and just being able to open up and be your quirky, cool, weird, amazing, beautiful self is all it takes sometimes to start that seed opening, right? Again, we've put on so many layers over the years that it's not going to be. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? You're not going to get back to your authentic self. You're not going to get back to this person. That's why it is a seed growing, right? You're not going to get back there overnight. But when the process starts, it feels so fucking normal and natural. It's like, oh, I don't care how long this takes or how rough this takes or what people say about it. I'm fucking going this way because it feels so good, right? That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. So if have some cool psychedelic experiences, you want to come share with me. If you're interested in psychedelics and you want to talk about it, get more information, fucking join the conversation. Let me know what's up, right? So let's see. I guess that's probably all the shit I want to say about it. So now let's just kind of talk some experiences. Yeah, where to freaking start? Like I said, this is as much as I love weirdness, it's a weird episode to like get kicked off on because they can do so many things. So, one, I'll kind of elaborate more on what I've said before as far as like even the most like fucked up childhood, memories, depression, anxiety, any of that shit you're trying to get rid of, if that's one of the reasons you're seeking psychedelics and exploring them, I was there. Like, I was there. I used them for that reason too. And they're fucking very awesome. And I'm not gonna sit here and try and play fucking victim like I had the worst fucking child, because I think my childhood was pretty awesome in a sense. That being said, I did have some wild fucking shit. I had a wild childhood as far as like the shit that I visually seen and witnessed, because of my older siblings being so young and just the gap being so fucking big, them not even fucking thinking they were doing high school shit and I was just observing. So, that being said, I did have some fucking first, some wild first experiences like getting to that shit. Um, and I think there's things to be said about both ways. There's some people that do it through like whatever they call it, like psycho assisted therapy, like psychedelics and assisted therapy to break through this shit. Maybe that would have fucking benefited me, or maybe I would have figured it out sooner than I did. But I don't regret the path that I went as far as like figuring it all out on my own and what these were. And obviously, like I said, it takes longer because you have to have the same thing repeat itself multiple times and then connect it with a thought, a belief, a feeling, an emotion, a memory, and then see what happens. Does that now thing, that experience, that visual thing go away and quit coming up because you probably fucking nailed it on the head? Or does it keep re-emerging because you probably need to look somewhere else in the fucking mind, right? Um, so yeah, things to be said for both, but me personally, I love the path of like personal exploration and figuring the shit out, because again, I think eventually you will do just that. You'll figure it out, right? It might take a little longer. It might how do you fucking explain it? You might yeah, so since it's going to take longer, you might experience more bad trips, but in my mind I don't think this is a bad thing. This is something you won't hear a lot for psychedelics because everybody's always trying to avoid the bad trips. Me personally, I don't even see them as bad trips anymore, because I try and bring that shit. The so-called bad trip, I try and bring that because I think that's where the most learning is, and also it's a fucking repeatable spot. That's kind of what I'm getting to. I've learned that that's like a fucking repeatable spot. Um how do I make sense of this before I get too far in the weeds? I literally think, so like I've explained with the brain and it being this fucking, um, you know, antenna, this receiver, this perceiver of reality, right? This dial of reality, right? That's fucking what the brain is, right? It is able to filter consciousness through it, and I don't even know how else to explain that? The brain is fucking a biological fucking computer. It is literally just filtering, like, consciousness is the algorithm of the universe, right? And the brain is able to fucking capture this like an antenna, like a receiver, right? And we all have our own station. That's what makes your skin suit individual, right? There's 8 billion stations, just like an AM channel, right? It's all sharing the same consciousness, the same fucking radio wave, but then it breaks off at fucking 82.9, 82 point fucking 3, 82.4, 97.8. You know what I'm saying? It just, that's what, boom, animates this individual fucking skin suit. So, oh, anyways, where was I going with that? Damn it, I got off on the freaking tangent. What was I talking about that for? Brain being able to do all that. So, anyways, the psychedelics. Um, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say with it. Um, to me, because that's how I perceive the brain. So, and like I talked about previously, just to refresh you, the I see dimensional shifting as literally just perception shifting, right? It just kind of like you don't physically go anywhere. Your brain does something, it just changes the fucking station somehow, and you literally perceive a new reality. And literally, it's infinite because there's like you can get to fucking this reality that looks just very similar, slightly different, or you could get to this fucking reality that's like not even resemblance of what the fuck is going on. And there's everything in between, right? So, that being said, I see mushrooms in particular, and maybe it's because the how long they've been around and how the mycelial network works, and we're like learning now that things hold memory, like water holds memory. Maybe this mycelial network from holding the dead, decomposing civilizations over fucking time, just countless fucking civilizations since literally like the beginning of time. Like, I'm pretty sure the fungal kingdom was here before humans, but I could be wrong on that. Um, they hold that memory within them somehow. Like, I can't fucking explain it, but in my experience, and again, this isn't just like one time, this is multiple times. That's how I've come to this conclusion. I see mushrooms as an interdimensional time machine for consciousness. We're going to try and break that down. But that is literally kind of what I see. Like, it's a matter of like, do you want to experience the Christian heaven hell dichotomy and that whole world and what it looks like? Boop, you can shift there. It's entirely possible. Um, do you want to experience fucking the the world of like the ancients and shamanism and spirits in like everything, in the animals, in the wind, and like the whole very just like shamanic and native thing? Like, boop, your reality can shift there. Do you want to experience like, I don't even know, like early freaking Victorian age, freaking Art Deco, um, high society fucking, you know, life? Boop, it can shift there. And what I mean by that is like, and you physically have to go nowhere. All of this shit will start coming into your reality, changing the shit that is already in your physical space to now start to look like this and resemble this, and like all the words and the sounds that you hear are all like centered around this motif. It's like you literally feel like you were transported into like a fucking different place without ever leaving, right? It's pretty fucking awesome. And this is the weird that I'm talking about that I love about psychedelics. Again, you got to push through and it takes a while, but you start to learn that these are very repeatable. And the reason why I like mushrooms is because it's so repeatable. Like, I can literally start to get to this place where now you play with these fucking things. Literally, it's like, I don't even, it's a fucking uh a way of almost like mentally like manipulating matter. Like, I can get there between like hours of 4 and 7. Like, it's like a super cool place. Like, the first 4 hours are usually always, they have many different ways. That's where it throws me different curveballs. Like, sometimes, and this is what I mean by it's like a reception. It is a radio reception that you have to tune into. I have taken 5 grams of mushrooms and literally had all the experiences that I'm telling you about now. and I've also taken 5 grams of mushrooms. And because set and setting and all of that shit was, for whatever reason, like, I didn't fucking tune into it. I literally, like, it was like I did nothing. And you could say, like, oh, those were old mushrooms, those were bad mushrooms, those were, no, those are the same mushrooms that did the great experience. And then even after the weird one, had a great experience. Same batch, same everything. What it is, and I've literally kind of, what led me to this realization was one of the times, so that had happened multiple times with similar batches, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on with this here, right? Like, because you would have the feelings that, whoa, it's getting ready to take off and everything, but then it never really would. And I was like, what the fuck is that, right? Like, what is that? And then one time I fucking caught it, and once I caught it, I was able to do this every fucking time. Like, there's not a time, like, literally how people say you even need to fucking give yourself time because you build up a tolerance. I can do it like multiple times and find this place. It's like, right, like, you might have to take like a little bit more because you do build up a tolerance, but you don't have to take a ton more, and it is just as effective. Let's say that. But that being said, the thing that happened one time is, it was like starting to happen again. And I know this batch was good because I literally just had some like 3 days earlier. Freaking had like one of the craziest fucking experiences. And now this was happening. I'm like, what the fuck? No, why is this doing this? And I literally, like, as I was like trying to just like chill, meditate, fucking push all the fucking, bad vibes out, it like dawned on me, and my brain, like, it could hear it. It was almost like a high pitch, like, ee. And when I fucking got into it, like when I fucking heard it and fucking tuned into it, I'm not even kidding, the fucking hair all over my body stood up, and it was like literally an electric charge just came into me, and it was instantly fucking peak level fucking experience, like, from what I just thought was gonna happen multiple times before, where it didn't fucking work. And I was like, holy shit. To me, it was super cool, right? I had a realization. I was like, babe, it's a fucking station. It's a fucking radio station that you have to, like, you can miss it. You can literally eat as much as you want, and you could miss the fucking station, right? Or once I figured that out, I was able to start learning how to take less, way less, and get to the same place. This is why it was fucking cool. Because then I started kind of understanding um microdosing, I guess, in a better light. Because me personally, like, and again, not saying microdosing doesn't have its place. There's people that do it, great, awesome, love it. I've even done it myself before. um that being said, I've always been a fan of the macrodose, right? I like the fucking bam, the hard hitting, fast and furious experience, right? Like, I don't want to take 30 days to shed away anxiety. I want to knock it out in one day and figure out where the anxiety is coming from, and then move on to hopefully never have anxiety from that thing again, right? That's the experience that I was always a fan for. But once I figured out this radio station like effect, I was like, whoa, now I was able to take literally like 3 grams, 3.5 grams, and get to the same place as 5 grams, right? Like, I was able to take like 2 grams and get to the same place where, like, 3.5 and eighth used to get me before. It's like, oh, you can still get to some very cool fucking places if you know what you're looking for, right? And so, again, I don't know how necessarily that works for each individual person, but maybe now that I put it out there, people will start like looking for that if they think they get like, oh, that one didn't work or whatever. Like, maybe you just fucking missed it, right? This is where the importance to fucking set and setting comes in, as far as like your mindset and the physical setting around you, right? Like, where are you doing this shit? And what is your mental state like it in the moment, as far as again, me personally, I don't necessarily believe in bad trips, so I think you can be in a crazy state, but now that, or not crazy state, but you know what I'm saying, like upset, grieved, like depressed state, and still come out happy knowing this, that you can tune in to it, right? And it can fucking, that it can help. Um, so yeah, where do I want to go from there? So yeah, knowing, I guess, knowing that, right? It just made it so much more, I guess, fun for me as far as, so this place that I'm talking about, this Akashic Record Collective Consciousness place, for me, I call it the treehouse because that is literally what it looks like. It look like, to me, it literally, it's like very, very, I don't know how to describe it. Like, oh man, how do I make sense? How do I make sense of this? I try and describe this to some people. So, you know, when you close your eyes, right, and you're looking at the back of your eyelids, it's not entirely black, right? You see, it's like a bunch of just speckled lights, glitters, fucking blur, whatever you want to call it. Psychedelics show you that blur, that's shit, that's actual like particles, light waves, fucking, I don't even know, fucking protons, neutrons, quarks, fucking neutrinos. It's all of those things. That's what you're seeing. It's all of this invisible shit that you think is like, we think is invisible. It's fucking light wave particles and vibrations and all sorts of shit. That's, psychedelics make sense of that, meaning you don't have the blur anymore. They start to make geometric patterns and shapes and fractal patterns and shit of that, right? Like you see it as structure. So that being said, this hyperdimensional space that I talk about, to me it's like a treehouse. It's like very fucking like digital, but it's very much treehouse, like the fucking Lion King. Um, this big fucking trunked tree, fucking big old canopy of branches, and as I'm fucking up in the little trunk part, I can literally, like, the branches, it's like the tree of life is what it is. The fucking branches literally all extend out in any fucking direction, and maybe it's maybe the ones that are more close or noticeable in my time frame are the things that are more, right, like surface on my mind, or you know, hiding there in the subconscious. I don't fucking know. um but I know it's fucking very different. There's fucking a million different things, and like I said, you can literally, for me, you can pick and choose. You can literally be like, oh, what was fucking life like during this fucking time period, and you fucking pull this little thing down, and literally all that color speckle shit now starts to transform into what I was saying, like the shapes, the art, the feeling of that time period, right? Like there's one thing I will say about mushrooms. I get this feeling way more so on mushrooms than, I don't think I've ever really gotten it on LSD. Never gotten it with MDMA. DMT, it's like so short acting and uh like kind of just fucking, I do got a cool thing to say about DMT, but it just doesn't quite, I guess, have a fucking, it is mind blowing in its own fucking right. Let's say that. But mushrooms, it's this overwhelming feeling for me, anyways, that something is fucking watching you. Right? I don't know how else to say that. It's like you're on a fucking movie. It's like you realize that you've been the star of the Truman Show the whole time, and fucking you can't explain why, because it's not like a feeling of paranoia, like, oh my god, somebody's watching me, or they're like, no, I do them around my family, and freaking, it's not like, it's a very normal and natural thing. Like I don't get fucking weirded out like by that. So it's not like a paranoia thing. It's this like overarching fucking feeling of Oh, I'm, I'm fucking being, I'm being watched. This whole fucking thing's like a, it's like a play. It's like a video game. It's like a reality show, right? It's like, and I'm not saying that's necessarily what's going on, but that's the feeling that I get. So when you get in that fucking feeling, so many more things make sense, if that makes sense. It's like you see through the facade, it dissolves the bullshit. It's like, oh, I had to get lied to in that situation in order to make sense of this. That thing had to happen like that, otherwise I wouldn't have fucking done that. Oh, that definitely needed to happen. I needed to meet that fucking person, otherwise that never. You like literally see like your fucking life is perfect exactly the way it is, like a TV show, for whatever reason. I don't know necessarily why that, like, we get into all that shit, right? It's not the point of this psychedelic episode. But yeah, it's just this feeling of like, oh, everything is fucking perfect the way it is. I'm right on track. I'm fucking, of course, it all makes sense now, right? So again, here's like one of the things I really want to combat with the psychedelic thing. So the people who are on the side of just saying like, oh, it's just hallucinating, it's just happening in your mind. Well, personally, I think the whole fucking universe is mental, so I think everything's fucking being projected out of our mind, right? That's how we obviously create shit. Um, that being said, even if the experience happens in your mind, but it changes your physical character, your spiritual being, your energetic state of operating, that is as real as a physical experience that happened to you or that you witnessed that did the same thing, right? Like, I just want to get on the same page as that whether it's a hallucination or just a fucking mental experience, if it changes the fucking avatar, the skin suit, the character for the better, right? That is as real as a fucking physical event or fucking miracle they witnessed or whatever that did the same thing to them, in my mind, right? We could agree to disagree all day on that, but that's how I see that. So yeah, I think one of the things that will, that I kind of want to get out of this psychedelic episode, more so even than just experience, because again, I'm going to continue to share crazy experiences the rest of this podcast, like in multiple episodes from here on out, because I think, well, one, I really enjoy it, and here, I didn't want that freaking heat to turn on, y'all. But yeah, I really enjoy the weird aspect of it, so that's one reason why I want to do it. But also, I think it'll help other people, like I said, open up with their weird, freaking, bizarro stories that fucking happen with it. And then we can, like, kind of start to, again, like, oh, that's where I was going with this. Like, I want this to be kind of educational, too. Kind of break down the facade. Kind of like I pointed out at the beginning, that it doesn't make you a freaking bump on the log meathead, right? You don't like, automatically turn into freaking Spicoli. Like, here's the thing. I think you get to things like that from this lack of information. By lumping all of these psychedelics in the same category together, well, then you have a whole group of uneducated kids that go out there trying a whole bunch of crazy new designer psychedelics or chemicals that they don't even know what the fuck it is, thinking psychedelics are psychedelics, right? And it's not. And then it does fuck up their brain. It rewires shit in a way that isn't good. And we don't even know what it is. And then it's being pinned on some of these other things because they're all lumped in the same category. We got to start changing our language and how we view psychedelics, right? Like, they're not drugs, right? Whether you want to call them plant medicine, tools, um, learning packets, right? Like hyperdimensional learning, like I like to call them. They just need to be viewed differently. And I think when we start viewing them differently and changing our language around them, changing the fucking stereotype that they're lumped in together, one, not only will, like, we move forward in a better place and people actually start benefiting from these, but I think we will start to reverse that aspect of kids trying crazy shit that they shouldn't be trying because these things will be more publicly and societally acceptable, that there will be no need for the other shit. Like, right? Like, here's the thing. When I hear some of these freaking stories, like, oh, it's good coffee. When I hear some of these stories that, some people have of just the most mind bending freaking, awakening psychedelic fucking experience that then turns fucking sour and into the worst thing ever. And you find out what they took, and it was like a combination of fucking, a little bit of DMT with a little bit of psilocybin mixed with a little bit of LSD, and then you had to hit some fucking ketamine in there, and then, oh, we tried some of this new designer thing that came out, right? Like that's no fucking amazement to me. Like, of course, that's probably going to be a fucking mind blowing experience. It might be so mind blowing that the fucking pieces can't recollect, right? That's all I'm saying with that. That once we learn that psilocybin is not that, it's not the explosion that then, no, it is an explosion. It's like the Big Bang, but just like the Big Bang, it then makes connections through all of that. It's an expansion. It's now what was nothing is now something, right? And then when you do it again, boom, it can expand and expand and expand. Knowledge and information and learning is never through with, right? Like, it is a constant refining process, and there's only so much psychedelics can do. Again, like I said, I used to not say this. I used to think like psychedelics were the bee's knees, like the end all to it, right? Like all of these other spiritual practices, and this was kind of the stance that McKenna took on it. So that's probably why I leaned that way a lot, because he was very heavily influenced my younger years. But this idea that the rest of these things, breath work, yoga, meditation, yada, 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 down the line, right, are all just like, they're missing the point. They're not actually getting the full fucking mind blowing experience that psychedelics can deliver. And on one hand, this is true. On the other hand, it's not, as far as they're entirely different. They are mind blowing and mind expanding in their own ways, right? And they can feed off of each other. You can they Meditation and psychedelics can go hand in hand. Breathwork and psychedelics can go hand in hand, but they don't need to, right? Like, psychedelics can take you to one place, breathwork can take you to another place. The two combined can take you to another place, but they're not dependent on each other. And this is, like, I guess the point that I'm trying to make, that I thought for the longest time that, like, oh, psychedelics were the thing. Like, all these other things are going to lead to psychedelics because you're eventually going to want to do that. No, it's just another fucking path. Yes, maybe more instantly expanding than some of the other things, but that isn't always necessarily a good thing. Sometimes that instant expansion comes with a lot of unpacking and grief and integration with it, where the slow, minute steps of energy work and meditation and breath work and yoga can eventually get you to the same place in a much more like orderly fashion, if that makes sense. So I don't think it's an either or. I think it's a both, and not necessarily both together. It's try one, try the other, fucking see what you like, right? You'll probably do what, like, here's the thing, like, I've done energy work on my family, like on psychedelics, and it's like crazy. Like, you can literally fucking see the energy coming out of them, like the light waves, the fucking sometimes it looks like smoke, sometimes it's like dark energy. You can see this shit coming out of them, and literally, you could call me crazy, but I'll see the spot it's coming out, and then I'll go to it and be like, is it right here? And they'll be like, yep. So you can start to see the grid literally the fucking making up everything. Um, that being said, my everyday Reiki practice, I don't use psychedelics and I have just as great experiences, right? I don't necessarily see all of the shit that I see when I do it when I'm on psychedelics, but I can feel it. I can feel the feeling on my hands, on my palms, like the tingles on my skin, right? Like I can get sense in the air with it. So there's other sensory markers, perceptions that we can pick up in our everyday real life that psychedelics just allow you to see, right? So, again, hopefully this is a cool enough psychedelic episode for you guys and you weren't looking for more like specific experiences. Just know I've definitely had some of the most fucking wild experiences. That's why I said I've done so many trips that it's hard to pinpoint each experience because I got to this point where I was like, dang, can I do that again? Yep. 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 How many times can I do it? Oh, every single time. I can do that every single time. Whoa, weird. And it's like this, like I said, I approached it from like an amateur science perspective of like, I'm going to try like repeatable things, then I'm going to switch things up and I'm going to see how it changes shit. I'm going to see if I can go from this station to that station and that station back to that station. And you can. It's all real. Like everything from the shamanic, deep feeling the fucking energies of the earth and the spirits in the animals and the vibration and the fucking using sound and music to literally fucking um create shapes out of those fucking, protons and neutrons and light waves and everything when you're in the psychedelic state. You can fucking do that. If you choose to, want to get interested in a fucking science fiction world, you can get immersed into that and go beyond, and your creativity can make a whole new world out of now this thing, right? You can then come right back out of that and be like, I want to kind of learn and study some of this Christian uh projection that's out there, and then you kind of start to see all the angles and all the different translations and the different fucking books and the different characters throughout time and the different similarities, and like it is absolutely amazing at how repeatable these fucking things are, right? I don't know if that's a me thing or if that is a fucking mushroom thing, but I almost feel like it's a fucking mushroom thing, right? Like this is again, and they can throw you. Here's the thing: they have fucking all the memories since the beginning of time stored in their fucking DNA, right? Like that, the mycelial network. I do definitely believe that. I think that's how they're able to be like the time machine for consciousness that I think. So that being said, even the many experiences I have had, I even know they are just a drop in the water to the number of experiences I haven't had yet or could even experience that, like fathom that they could make you experience, right? This is why I want to share this with you guys and see if other people have also been trying and doing this similar thing, or if you are interested in these and now you approach it in this way. Yeah, like can you repeat these processes and shit like that? Like just starting the fucking platform, like I said, changing the language on what these things are, right? They are so much more than we've been told. Um that being said, let's see where we're at with time here. 139. Okay, I'll probably wrap it up here soon. Like I said, I feel like this is pretty educational episode on fucking psychedelics in general, education in general, like new earth learning, teaching, what the fuck a guru is, kind of breaking down some of these terms. Again, I want this podcast to be taking all this spirituality, crazy mumbo jumbo, grounding it down to real life, earth, right? Like grounding it down into our reality. Because again, I am guilty. I'm as guilty as the next when it comes to. I love the entertainment of all of it. It's like one of my hobbies, so I get it and I understand it. That being said, I also understand how some of the eccentrics, some of the entertainment, some of the just like overbearing fucking hippie vibes scare some people away, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to scare anybody away. I want to try and let people know, hey, there is some fucking fun, silly, hippie shit with all of this, right? But it's also fucking very real. It's also very fucking real, science based, fucking real life based, fucking. You can use it to benefit the everyday person. You don't have to be some brainiac scientist, some athlete, some. No, again, like one of the other things I think with mushrooms, like if we're really going to get on the topic, performance enhancing drugs, I think psilocybin will be used for this if it's not already being used as this by some of the top athletes. I can tell you, like, the right amount, more than a microdose, not enough to fucking trip the fuck out. You can get into the state of performance where exercise is not only like you can do it like a maniac, but it's fun. You want to do it. Sports, freaking swimming, just moving and getting the blood flowing feels so fucking good. And no offense, because it allows you to see, like it does improve eyesight, improve hand-eye coordination. It allows edge detection like faster. You literally almost feel like a fucking a superhuman as far as like, whoa, I can see the fucking hoop better. I can fucking, I can swing the bat better. I can throw the ball better. Like it feels fucking different. So again, I think it could be used as like performance enhancing shit, right? Um, there's just so many freaking avenues that these things could be used for, rather than just the psychotherapeutic route, is what I'm trying to get to. Just like marijuana got to the recreational point because we realized like it had so many more benefits than just medical for cancer patients, right? That is awesome that it can do all of the things it can do with fucking cancer, but that's not the only thing. I call it a cure all as far as it helps each person individually, right? Like if you have anxiety, there's a strain out there that will most likely help that for you. If you have insomnia, there's most likely a strain out there that'll help that for you. If you have fucking whatever it is, right? There's most like stress, depression, fucking all of these things. Sometimes strains can cause more of those things, so you got to watch it, right? It's not like every marijuana is a cure all. No, there's a fucking million strains and now they've been bastardized and this and that. But if you can get to some good old traditional sativa or indicas, there are very strain specific, you know, uh, species or strains or whatever you want to call it that do very specific things for some people. So, yeah, just kind of, again, changing our language and the way we look at these fucking things, right? That is what I wanted this episode to be more about, was more educating, talking about how like they can actually be very fucking fun. Um, and doesn't always have to be just healing childhood trauma, right? Like the marijuana got to the recreational point because even amongst all of those other things it can do, guess what? It can also just be fun, right? It's not a bad thing to have fucking fun in life. Like there's a reason why alcohol has been legal forever. Again, I have my own thoughts and opinions on it. That being said, there's nothing fucking wrong with having fun, right? It's the energy that we do. What do we do with that fun, right? Do we, help other people have fun, or uh, at least not harm anything? Or are we like fucking invading up somebody's space or something like that, right? Then no matter what we're doing, we need to look at the look at the energy, not the substance, right? So, um, what else do I want to say about that, if anything? No, not really. So, yeah, I kind of told you about the treehouse. That's pretty cool. Again, guys, I've seen some crazy shit. If you want to know some of the wildest shit, maybe just ask me questions in the comments. I'll let you know. Trying to think of some like wild shit that like comes. So again, like, and one of the things that I had to deal with, right? I had to deal like I had, and now I can get there repeatedly. But I had a lot of clown motif, a lot of clown, jester, this fucking archetype of like this carnival fucking um yeah, just like circus fucking theme for the longest time. Um until I was able to break out and like tie that to what that was tied to my childhood, right? And like all the fucking the little fear of clowns I had and the exposure to fucking Pennywise and it, plus the fucking being so young and my brother being hardcore into fucking insane clown posse and hearing those crazy fucking lyrics and things, right? Like as a fucking child, like of course all this shit was gonna keep fucking. And then when I finally started getting to like specific memories there or doing this or doing that, the fucking clown, the gestury motif, like started to go away, right? And it never reappeared until I got to the point of where I like dialing in. Well, then I can go back there. Now I call it the fucking midnight circus, right? Because like I can go back there and I can get back to that fucking place. But initially it was like this subconscious thing because there was some healing shit that needed to be done there, right? But then you can go back and fucking have fun and see shit like in this circusy fucking jester clown fucking motif. And it's pretty fucking fun, right? Um, Probably gonna write a book someday called fucking The Sounds of the Midnight Circus. Because here's probably one of the craziest ones. And I didn't know it was fucking wild, right? So I did DMT and I had a fucking the first time I did it and like I didn't quite blast off. I was almost there. I mean shit was crazy. This fucking big orange fucking flowery I don't even, transforming thing was starting to fucking come out. It was like if I would have either held the hit in for probably like 2 more seconds or just a little bit bigger of a puff, it probably would have gotten right there. But what this did, I'm kind of glad it happened like this because I was able to make this connection of like, oh, these motherfuckers go hand in hand. But anyways, seeing all that and doing it, right? Like fucking it's transforming, it's there. Never actually broke through to more than that fucking spaceship flower looking transforming thing. But the sounds that I could hear were insane. It was literally like every sound you've ever fucking heard in your life all together. Fucking what's this thing fucking called? The fucking accordion fucking playing, flutes, drums, guitar, people laughing, screaming, crying, fucking cartoons, bells whistling, water flow, literally just like every sound in the world, but just seeing this thing. And so it was like this fucking weird, super weird thing, like the feeling that it left me in. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, even though it was like super cool, I was like hesitant. Like that was the first time I did, and I was like, okay, no, I don't. I just didn't want to do it again. I had this overwhelming feeling of like I don't want to take another hit to try and go more. Like I want to try and fucking unpack this for a minute, right? So I'm like trying to unpack what the fuck was all of this, and I could still almost not like I was like tripping or fucking actually hearing it, but like you know how when you get the fucking song stuck in the back of your head, I had that sound stuck in the back of my head of just like, how do you have so many fucking sounds colliding at once? It was literally like almost every sound I've ever heard fucking colliding together in the back of my mind. I couldn't make sense of it, right? Fast forward a week, um, not really thinking about it anymore. I thought about it for the first couple days, and then I was just like, right, if there's something that's meant to come out of it, it'll fucking come out of it the next time I do it. I didn't know when the next time I was going to do it was, but yeah. I knew I was gonna do it because I fucking had recently went to Barter Fair, so I had a fucking DMT cartridge. So I was gonna be experimenting with this thing for a while, so I wasn't like in any rush, right? So, anyways, since I had just gotten back from Barter Fair, I had also had a nice stash of fungi, fungi's. So, anyways, um, uh, yeah, it's probably a week, maybe 10 days later after that DMT trip. I go to try the mushrooms for the first time that I had gotten from Barter Fair, and it may have been it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had on mushrooms, as far as like literally visually the probably the coolest, and oh, making sense of some of these psychedelics and questions that I had had on my mind and shit like that, all coming together at once, right? And it continued my DMT trip, if that made sense. So I take these mushrooms, and I took like 6 grams, so I knew I was gonna fucking, be in for it. And already like 20, 30 minutes in, it's fucking already starting. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be shit's already starting to get fucking magnavision, like gets really crisp and clear, and then it kind of goes out. You're kind of splashing in and out, like if you know, kind of thing. It comes and then it goes, and it's fucking. This was doing it like very fast. Like normally, sometimes like that thing, like you'll be in it for a few minutes and then you'll be out of it for a few minutes, and you'll be in it. This was like, whoa, 20, 30 minutes later, feeling it, and then just like for a few seconds, no, and then it was just like, do, 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 boom. So I could tell already it was going to be different. Normally, it never fucking, it's not really until like an hour, hour and a half that I'm to that peak level, where this was, like I said, by 40 minutes, I was fucking peaking. And it stayed there for fucking 7, 8 hours. So, anyways, not only was it like just the coolest, as far as like seeing some of the most coolest shamanic, just natural, like fucking, we were in a motel over on the other side of the state, fucking, and down the road there was, so it was in fucking, yeah, like during Halloween time, and down the road there was this fucking place that was like, you could go, it was like a fucking haunted house, right? But like a mega haunted house, like a city-wide fucking haunted house. They had 4 different haunting themes you could go check out in there. It was like a big deal. Such a big deal. The fucking music that they were playing was literally, these guys were like 2 blocks away, and like you could hear the music in our motel room. Like there was a fucking techno party next door. It was crazy. But it was kind of cool because it, I think, led to all of this. The soundtrack that they had going was just like the right beat and vibe to change everything in the fucking the motel room into fucking an Amazon jungle, myself included. Like I was like a tree fucking, like shaman fucking, I don't even know how to describe it. Just like a fucking ancient fucking tree guy, dude. It's like when I'm looking at myself, like my beard was growing into like roots and shit all into my neck. I was just like an ancient shaman fucking plant, dude. Everything in the fucking apartment was this, or motel was this way. Super fucking cool. I'm having fun with it, checking shit out. And anyways, all of a sudden, the fucking soundtrack changed apparently, and without me even knowing it, my DMT trip from 10 days earlier came back. It was literally the fucking, not the orange transcending thing, but that sound. It was literally like I would close my eyes, and it was like there was a headlight in the back of my brain playing like a megaphone. It was light shining out, but it was fucking noise. And it was all of that noise from the fucking DMT trip. And as I realized that, I even thought, oh my God, this was the shit from the DMT trip. Like, am I getting to this fucking kind of same place? And then no joke, maybe because the clown haunted house fucking theme and all of that, and it just like broke through, and I was into what I like to call the midnight carnival, and it was the place of the fucking what McKenna would call the self-transforming elves, right? Like this fucking these beings, this presence, these fucking everything made out of language, and you being able to do it and literally making sounds like in you, and fucking shapes appearing before your fucking eyes, as crazy as that sounds, right? It's fucking was the wildest thing. But I literally made the connection like, oh, this is the DMT trip. And anyways, what all that sound was, that was literally all the fucking sound, the noise that I have ever heard in my life. And it was dumping out like that, I guess, for me to kind of realize and put together in this kind of fucking like clown circusy way, and realize that that's what this fucking place is. The DMT space, I guess one of the stations you can get to with mushrooms where it takes you to. And so I got to this place several times after that trip with just mushrooms, no DMT needed. I just needed to, I guess, have the understanding, the perception shift that, oh my god, they are fucking one and the same. But it's, yeah, what I don't know what shamans call the place of souls, what McKenna called the fucking self-transforming elf machines. Um, it's what fucking psychics and clairvoyance and all that shit are hearing and seeing and tuning into. It is the fucking all of this space. It's where all of our energy does not die, right? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It just changes form. It goes somewhere else, right? It's doing something else. All of these fucking souls and spirits and conscious agents are fucking out there doing something else, right? Like, I don't know exactly what they're all doing, but this fucking place is there, right? Like, it's very hard to explain, right? As far, like, for me anyways, as far as like, I even now when I can get there, more so than a seeing, it's a hearing and a feeling of them, right? And like, you can interact with each one individually in its own right, but it's like I don't like visually see like different fucking beings, right? That's not like how I perceive it, but it is definitely a place. Like, I don't know, it sounds weird as fuck, but like in the hours of 4 to 7, if you tune in just fucking right and you send the elf call, right? The fucking that that just magical little fucking take me to the weird place call, this fucking place will arrive. It'll come to you just like a DMT trip does, and you're in the fucking land of weird. You're in the land of bizarre, right? Like, you literally see where the source of imagination and creativity and fucking human experience dwells from. It is the Big Bang. It's how you get fucking everything out of nothing. Like, you get to that place, right? Um so yeah, hopefully that story kind of makes sense. If not, it's psychedelics. Again, like I said, we're going to lack some of the words. I'm going to talk about more of these. Like I said, I've got fucking, that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to fucking weird, man. Like, I've, from watching the grain on this table fucking move to literally transforming, going to do mirror work, like literally mirror work on psychedelics, fucking blow your mind, bro. You can literally watch yourself, like, I don't want to get too weird, but I've watched literally my skin melt off my bones, and I've watched myself transcend into a shimmering light of fucking just oneness with the universe and everything in between. Fucking warrior shaman guy, ancient fucking Greek fucking statue, weird clown jester, fucking magician wizard, like literally you fucking trends. I've done like my family while they're sleeping, You see it, it's like literally to kind of make sense of it before I go, because like I said, I like this podcast to try and fucking make sense of the weird and wacky into some bit of reality. The science says that real, like, physical objects are more of the illusion, that everything is actually vibrating at a fucking certain oscillation, a high oscillation, and our minds perceive it as a solid object, right? But everything is actually a vibration, energy, as I would say. You see this on mushrooms. That is what is happening, right? Everything is happening. It's coming in at speeds of light and faster, right? Consciousness. So it's oscillating very fast. Psychedelics slow down the vibration. So you literally, that's why you see the wood grain moving, because it's slowing down the vibration. You can touch it and you can feel, oh, it's solid. Like, it doesn't feel like water or it's liquid, or you can't change the fucking wood grain when you're doing it, right? No, it's oscillating in a certain pattern, but the psychedelics slow that shit down enough for you to see it. It's weird how it does that. But it, when you look at faces, when you do mirror work, other people, you see this. You literally see how they are phasing in and out of this reality and whatever other realities they're fucking going to millions of times per second. It's like a crazy oscillating, like they're never the same fucking face, two oscillations in a row. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, you literally watch them sleep and they're asleep and you know they look the same, but they're literally like constantly changing. And you see fucking how they're feeling, like they're, the way they're carrying themselves, you see it like that. Like, I've seen my kids as like little fucking warriors and fucking samurais and little like alien insectoid motherfuckers, and um my beautiful queens and princess as fucking like fairies and like these goddess type things, right? And it's all based on like their inner feeling and their confidence and how they're carrying themselves, right? Like, that's the spirit that they are embodying. We see one thing, right, with these regular eyes, but psychedelics slow it down to our true nature, to what we truly feel like we are on the inside. And that's the main thing. I love them, right? That's what we're trying to get to: authenticity, shedding the fucking the layers of programming, getting the fear mongering out of there. That's what we're doing with this podcast. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you got something out of it. If you're interested in psychedelics, hit me with your questions below. I'll let you know what I know. I'll help guide you in any direction you're looking to go, as far as like more information on them, what you're looking to get out of them. I can't tell you where to get them. I don't fucking know. That you'll have to do on your own, right? But uh, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and you kind of see my perspective and how I'm going to tackle this psychedelic thing from here on out in the future. As far as like, I love all the other shit, but I'm interested in the weird. I'm interested in the weird and the bizarre. I really feel like psychedelics are the everyday person's way of being an explorer. I personally love this. Like, you read stories like freaking, you know, Land of the Lost, or freaking Journey to the Center of the Earth, or 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or freaking uh all of these fucking Edgar Allan Poe tales that I used to read in that crazy dark world that he used to live in. Um why do these experiences just have to be for a couple individuals, is what I'm saying. I see psychedelics as the everyday person's way to be an explorer, right? You don't have to go off in a fucking rocket to Mars, and you don't have to take a submarine down to the bottom of the ocean. You can sit on your couch in your living room and you can turn the inside of your house into the farthest reaches of the galaxy and so much more, right? Like, it is literally the last frontier for men. Like, you can experience all things past, present, future, and so much more from the comfort of your house. So yeah, if there's another one thing you get out of this, me personally, I love doing them solo. Right? When I was younger, I used to do them with people and at places and this and that. And I've done them at concerts and this and that. And it can be fun and has its time and place. Haven't done it like that in years. Literally, the last 3 years, I haven't done psychedelics with anyone but myself. Um, and I love it that way. I love it with myself. I love it personally in the evening. I've done it during the day. I love it in the evening. I love it from the fucking hours of 7, 8 o'clock at night until 3 in the morning. That's the fucking time window of where I think weird shit can be found, because that is where the most weird, feared projections are in human subconscious. Everybody's afraid of that time, right? Like, oh, the witching hour, demons, possessions, oh, 3 o'clock. So that is where the most weirdo and bizarre shit comes out of, because the collective consciousness at that time is like, whoa, these motherfuckers think some weird shit, right? Again, I'm one of them. Hey, these things can fucking have you explore those without ever needing to explore those, right? Maybe we can work out some of these traits that like sociopaths or psychopaths or narcissists have with psychedelics, as far as, no offense, it could probably feed into that energy if done incorrectly. But if a heavy enough dose done, could maybe kind of work that out of them, as far as they could just explore all those avenues in their mind and they don't need to explore them in the real fucking physical world. Hey, I'm just saying. So, yeah, if you were wondering how I do them by myself. I'm a weirdo like Terrence McKenna. I fucking talk to them. I tell the mushrooms, fucking show me what you know. Every time before I do it, and doesn't fail. Every single time I meditate with them, and I tell them to show me what you know. Show me all that you fucking know. And the mushrooms literally fucking told me, oh, we're coming up on 4 years this year. They told me, if you give us fucking 10 years, 10 years in the trenches, 10 years as a foot soldier like many have before us, we will show you things that you didn't even know were fucking possible. So I'm just fucking, I'm upholding to my end of the deal, as far as these fucking crazy little bastards are. They're too fucking cool, right? They've been around since the beginning of time, and we still don't understand a fucking thing about them. And what we do understand or know about them is silenced and kept quiet. This age of truth, the age of information, let that shit out there. Like, the weirdos, we're fucking uniting, right? The wrong side of the tracks. It's our time to fucking have the stage for a little while, because there's been everybody else and their mom, talking on the internet for years, and we've been fucking laying low in silence and figuring ourselves out, right? So now it's our time to come out of the woodworks while everybody else goes in and figures themselves out, and maybe we can help them understand some of these things that will help them figure themselves out. So, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap that episode up right there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you have a new understanding of psychedelics. Hopefully this episode opened your mind up a little bit on what education and learning and these tools can be used for. Hopefully you have a new understanding of language and drugs, and how we should actually look at some of these things. Again, quit letting people who don't know anything about them control the narrative and tell us what they want us to know. We have the ability to, one, not only use our own discernment and intuition, but we have the ability to try these things. Like these, again, yes, the crazy weird ones that you know nothing about, don't do that. But there's a standard few freaking. And here's the thing, I've never even done ketamine, so I can't advise for it. It definitely has a lot of literature and people's experiences talking good things about it. I can't say one way or the other. I've never done it. Peyote, same thing, never done it one way or the other. Ayahuasca, same thing, never done it. LSD, psilocybin, DMT, I have done, right? But the thing is this category of them: peyote, ayahuasca, ketamine, DMT, psilocybin, the tryptamines, right? And LSD. These ones have been used, researched, and studied so fucking much to this point that this information needs to get out there. There is nothing fucking scary or harmful about these things anymore other than the misinformation that surrounds them, right? Terrence McKenna used to say a great thing. He said he got it from Timothy Leary. Timothy Leary said he didn't. But, anyways, he said LSD is a drug that's known for causing uh, schizophrenia in the minds of those who've never tried it. Right? You get that? Meaning the people who talk the most fear, who spout the most uh, craziness about psychedelics and LSD and shit, are the people who've never tried it. It causes them to go fucking crazy. It causes them to lose their mind because they can't even handle the conversation, right? We got to get past that. We're in 2025. We're a mature civilization now, or on our way to being a mature civilization now. And it's time we start bringing our thoughts and ideas out of the fucking dusty old past and look at things in the color spectrum they are, not black and white, full color spectrum, right? So there you go, guys. I'm going to end it there. Psychedelics, education, learning, teachers, gurus, poetry, you got it all. I fucking love you. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Wrong Side of the Tracks. Again, I'm Ryan. I love fucking doing this. I hope you guys love hearing this. If you enjoyed this episode, share it. Send it to somebody who might enjoy this shit also. If not, move along. Other than that, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Go have a killer fucking weekend. Love you.